Hey nail fam, hope you are well. Your girl got a little 3 little scoops of mystery acrylic. This is the TikTok mystery acrylic scoops from Secret Nail Affair. I have been wanting to try their products for quite some time, and when I saw that they were doing the mystery scoops, I thought this would be a good way to try out a variety of their acrylics. So with the scoops, I did get 2 free gifts. The first one are some green star sequins, and then these are some neon orange butterfly sequins from Secret Nail Fair. So thank you, Secret Nail Fair, for those free gifts. So these are the 3 scoops here, and usually you would get probably around 5 products with each scoop. So the first one here are also some iridescent butterfly sequins as well. And then I also have 14 different acrylic powders in these like sample sizes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all of the names of each of the acrylic powders. We're going to take a quick peek at all of the different colors so you could see what's inside each one of these acrylic powders. And then we are going to get into the struggle of me trying to swatch these acrylics as well as do a nail design. So if you are a nail tech, a nail professional, someone that knows exactly how to do nails, please exit the building. Exit the building right now, because this video is not a tutorial. This is a full on struggle. All right. Let's finish looking at these gorgeous acrylics from Secret Nail Affair, and then we will get into the swatches. Sit back, relax, grab something to drink, some snacks, little something, and let's go. Warning, the following scene contains poor acrylic application, dry beads, no apex, and an absolute mess. Rated hot mess. Because it's a hot mess. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so let's get into the struggle. Okay? So the first mistake that I made is that I did not stir my acrylics. I did not stir any of them. So I went, and then the second mistake I made was I went and grabbed a little cheap acrylic brush because I didn't want to use the fluffy one, which is a size 16, I think. So I went to grab this number 12 cheap brush. And I dip into the monomer, tap onto my paper towel, thinking I know something. And I say, okay, what happened? Yeah. Why is the acrylic not picking up? I dip back into the monomer and I dip back into the acrylic powder, and the same thing is happening. And I'm like, okay, hold on now. I think it's hardening into the actual jar. So I go to take my little scoop here and I scoop out the hardened acrylic that I've made a complete mess of. And I was like, okay, maybe I a little rusty. Let me stir it up, thinking I know something. So I give it a good little stir. I put all my back into it and stir it up just a little bit. So I say, okay, take 3. Let's try this again. We got this. All right. So I take my little cheap acrylic brush, dip into the monomer again. I don't wipe off as much. Boom, dip into it again. What is the problem? So I managed to pick up a bead this time, but it still was dry. So the size of the brush is not picking up enough monomer. And I was like, sweet girl, what is you doing? Baby girl, what is you doing? I was like, okay, stop playing. Go grab the next brush that you have. And the same thing happened. I was like, sis, sis, throw it away. Throw the whole thing away. Throw the brush away. Throw you away. You ain't know what you're doing. See, stop. Meow. Stop right now. It's like, okay, no. We don't give up. We as a fighter, we don't give up. We struggle and we press through. So I said, okay, let's take out these big pieces again, sis. Get your composure together. Breathe in, breathe out. Stir it again. Put your back in it. Put all 2 of your backs into it, okay? Call all your ancestors and put their backs into it as well. Okay, we're going to start this again. You got this. Why your brush look like that? First of all, your brush isn't even properly smooth, sis. What you doing? Okay. Something's not working. Okay, and this is me talking to myself during this entire thing. I did curse a few times. I did let out a few expletives, and I said, you know what? Just give up. Move on, sis. You ain't got it. Just give up. So we move on to the next one. This one is diamond cut. I said, okay, sis, make sure that brush is wet. Breathe in, dip into that bad boy, pick up that bead. Success. We have our first bead. You got it, sis. Pat that bad boy into the swatch stick. Okay, we working. So the issue was you didn't have enough monomer on your brush. You was being cheap by using a cheap brush because you cheap. Buy yourself a stencil brush. I said, okay, I know what the problem is. That's all right. We're just going to use the number 16 brush. And we percolating, guys. We percolating. So now that I know I need wetter beads for these Secret Nail Affair acrylics, it was smooth sailing. Or so I thought. So tell me why I went back to the first acrylic again. Tell me why. Like, sis, give up. You already jack up the first swatch. Why are you going back again? I don't understand. So I dip into it again and I say, boom, take that. Ha, you thought I wasn't going to get the bead this time. I got the bead. Now what you saying? We slapped that bad boy into that acrylic. She a little thick though. She a little thick. I think I got a little bit too carried away. I probably should have stopped. I didn't listen to myself. I kept going. She a little thick, but that's okay. We just wanted to know for our own self-validation that we could have picked up this little acrylic bead and we could have put it in the swatch stick, and that's all that mattered. So we got it. We did it together, sis. Thank you. I know what I'm doing. No. Okay? So now that we had this one done, we percolating, we can now move on to the other swatch sticks because we know what we're doing now. Or so I thought. Okay, so never mind the brush little jack up. She ain't smooth. But she a girl picking up one bead, one stroke. Look at that. Ah, look at that. Your girl thinking she's saying something now. She thinking, okay, I got this. I figured it out. Wet bead, slap it on in, form it, pat it down, done. One stroke, single stroke. Look how beautiful that is. Ew. Ooh, this one is a pretty one. This is giving bride vibes. Look how pretty that one is. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. You still need to do something about that brush. But anyway, it is kind of irritating looking at that brush, but that's okay. We know this girl cheap anyway. Now, this one is another pretty one. I love this color. She's a spicy, spicy hot girl summer color. Gorgeous, gorgeous. We're getting the hang of it. We're still getting the hang of all of the swatches. I hope this young lady ain't have us sitting here trying to swatch all 14 colors, because ain't nobody got time for that. We get it, sis. We can see you got your little application going on. Hopefully, it's not going to be too long. Okay, so that one was called Creamsicle. Creamsicle is the plug. Okay, so we got a little butterfly-y looking one. She looked pretty. All right, sis, let's see what you're going to do with this one. This one get plenty secret. Sis. Let it go, sis. Let it go. We back to square one. I thought you was getting the hang of it. What's the problem? What is the reason? Why are you poking it like that? This is not mashed potato. You know what? Throw the whole thing away, please. Throw the whole thing away. Okay, look like we finished them off camera, because we wasn't about to sit here and struggle for another 10 acrylic powders, because the struggle was real. But the colors, we'll say, are absolutely beautiful. The glitter ones, definitely my favorite. They are so beautiful. But guess what? The struggle is not done, guys. That's the first half of the struggle. The next half of the circle is me trying to apply these on to my nails. So I picked out 3 of the colors that I thought, excuse me, were actually really nice. Astronomical, which had like some mylar iridescent flakes. Fairy Floss, which had some confetti dots in it. And then also this Creamsicle one, which is like that hot girl pink color. All right, so I pick up my first bead. I don't know why I put this bead towards the tip of the nail. And this was my first mistake. Well, actually, this is my second mistake. My first mistake is putting on full cover nail tips. Usually with acrylic, you either want to use the forms to sculpt them, or you want to use the half cover tips, because these full cover tips already have an apex. So it's already going to be chunky, bumpy, lumpy, and everything. And I thought, because I don't know how to build no apex, I thought, I'll just slap the acrylic on top of a nail that already has apex. And wrong decision. So that was my first mistake. My second mistake was I don't know what I'm doing. Child, I don't know what I'm doing, child. But you know what? That's okay, because we're going to learn together, and you are going to learn from my mistakes. So I put the acrylic bead on. It's already hardening. This has like a medium to fast setting. So as a beginner, I'm struggling because I do not know what my liquid to powder ratio is. I'm using the wrong size brush as a beginner. I'm new to the consistency of this powder, so it does take time. And if I could just throw in some words of wisdom, practice your liquid to powder ratio with your acrylic powders first before you actually decide to do a nail set, maybe, young lady. Yeah, that's what my mistake was. So I'm trying to fix this because I'm layering the acrylic uneven. And there are gaps in the acrylic because my brush is not flat, it's not oval, it's uneven. They are, the bristles are all over the place. I will say that the acrylic is nice. with a little bit more practice, I think this would be very nice for beginners because it's not as slow as other acrylics like I've used. For example, I've used anacrylic. And even though that is slow, sometimes you could forget that it is slow and you could actually touch the acrylic whilst it's still trying to set, and you can damage the shape of the acrylic. So that's another thing with other slowing setting acrylic powders. This one is on the medium side. You just need to know what your liquid to powder ratio is, and you just need to know where you want your bead to go. And it's not meant for you to play around with other, like, with other acrylics. I had time to play around and shape it and stuff. This isn't for playing around. This is for you to get the job done and get the job done right. So I struggled definitely. If you were going for dinosaur nails, Jurassic Park, like, yeah, this would fit in. This would definitely fit in it. And I'm not giving up. I'm like, ooh, she chunky. Ooh, she a little ugly. But I was like, you know what? Let's go big or go home. Keep going. Sometimes an ugly nail could still turn out ugly. No, I'm just kidding. Ugly nails can still turn out pretty. I like ugly nails. Yeah, I like ugly nails sometimes. Boy, that thumb is chunky. Okay, so we're not gonna do all three colors on these rest of these fingers, because trust me, I wasn't about to struggle with all five fingers. So for my index finger, I decided I will just put on one color, and I'm going in with Astronomical. And I thought, since we put so much on the thumb, we're not going to put as much on the index finger. And that was my, I don't know what mistake number I on now. I don't know. This was another mistake. I put too little acrylic. I put, I was being cheap. I was like, you know what? We're going to apply this like gel polish. So we're just going to put a tiny little bit because we didn't need no apex because the apex already there. And I just put a little tiny little bit on it, and I was like, boom, she's straight. Moving on to the next finger, and I do the exact same thing on the middle finger. So it's like we're just gonna put a tiny little bit. Now the sequence in this one is a little bit more thicker, so I do make this one a little bit more thicker than that index finger. So yeah, continue watching me struggle as per usual. And then for my pinky finger, took the creamsicle and I put one layer of it onto the pinky finger as well. Boy, I really struggled with the cuticle bead, and I know that my brush isn't the best brush. I haven't fixed it properly. I haven't pinched it or make sure that it's flat or anything like that. So yeah, don't worry about the brush too much. I did buy some 8100 grit files off of Amazon. It's so hard to find 8080 grits, bro. I don't understand what the issue is. Anyway, I'm going to try to file around the edges of these dinosaur nails. I didn't know what I was doing either. And for some of the nails, I actually ended up, especially that index finger, I actually ended up filing most of the acrylic off because that was so thin. So, and I didn't cap these with clear either because I was like, I ain't on this run. I really wasn't like trying to, I already know I messed up. So here's how my little bite up nails looking. We got a little chunky one. We got a little thin one. We got some medium ones, all kind of stuff. So I said, you know what, we're going to try to save these nails. And we're just going to slap on some big charms on here. And we're going to pretend like we was ever going to do a kawaii set, because who's going to see how bad your nails look when you pop on some big kawaii charms? So to try to save this nail design, your girl just grab some top coat. We're gonna slap it on top of that acrylic, and applying the top coat onto these acrylics was so pretty. Also, 3 of my nails popped off while I was trying to file them. So I was already upset about that. And I was like, you know what? They're going to stay lumpy. I'm going to put these charms on and nobody's going to see the lumps anyway. So yeah, I put some top coat on. Then I put on some rhinestone glue and I just started to stick on some kawaii charms on top of this nail and pretend that nobody's going to know how messed up these nails are. So here's how the nails turned out, guys. This is not a tutorial. This is a struggle tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really nice colors from Secret Nail Fair. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.